Moving into the details, New Zealand Prime Minister Christopher Luxon met President Draupadi Murmu at the Rashtrapati Bhavan today. Welcoming him and his delegation, the President highlighted the close and friendly relations between India and New Zealand, built on shared values of democracy, rule of law and strong people-to-people connections. She fondly recalled her state visit to New Zealand in August last year, mentioning that the country's natural beauty and cultural diversity had left a lasting impression on her. Union Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman spoke about the PM internship scheme, highlighting the government's initiative to improve the job enrollment and job seekers. She explained that in the July 2024 budget, 5 different schemes were introduced to bridge the gap between the industry expectations and job seeker skills. The internship scheme offers rupees 4,500 per month from the government and rupees 500 from industries to support non-IIT students and those from Tier 2 and Tier 3 cities. The first pilot phase, launched in October, involved 300 companies with transparent registration and placements based on district-level proximity. The second phase is expanded to over 735 districts with 325 industries participating, and the scheme is now accessible in all Indian languages through a website and mobile app. And Sitharaman emphasized the need to give confidence to youth and help them understand the requirements of top companies, encouraging members of parliament to promote the scheme in their constituencies.
First, I think it was absolutely visionary of PM to put the finger on the point that today our youth are going through various different courses as per their aptitude. And the industry is also going through a big churn. They are bringing in automation, they are bringing in AI, they are bringing in internet-based learning, and also going into robotics and so on. So as much as you train your youth, even as they get out of their institutions, there's still a shortage of industry expectation in terms of the skills that they expect, which they want to find in every new applicant. Now, this problem was so very clearly recognized by the Honorable Prime Minister that in July 24 budget, which was for the rest of the year, having given a vote on account in February 24, for the rest of the year we came up with a budget in July 24, in which 5 different schemes were announced in order to improve more enrollment into jobs, more support to the job seeker who gets enrolled, support to the employer who wants these new employment, the additional employments that he gets in, and moreover to bring in that kind of a bridge which is so required for industry expectation to be met and for the youth to find chance to know what kind of expectations exist in the industry or business world. How did we want to do it? We wanted to have an internship scheme in which the government would give a fair deal of amount for monthly expenditure in terms of some kind of a payment for the intern, 4,500 rupees, and the industry was asked to chip in 500 rupees. And we expected the top 500 companies or businesses to give that exposure to these youth who were non-IIT students, who were not coming from well-known institutions. We are not coming from metropolitan cities. Not that the metropolitan cities are excluded, but aiming at getting tier 3, tier 2 students to come in so that they understand what is the expectation of the job market and how much of additional skills that they have to acquire, and also to get a view of how the jobs work in a shop floor, in a business house, in a servicing center, in a logistics firm, whatever. First, I think it was
Defense Minister Rajnath Singh and the US Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard held a bilateral meeting in Delhi during her 2.5-day visit to India as part of multinational tour, and this marks the first high-level trip by a top official from Donald Trump administration. And Gabbard arrived in New Delhi early Sunday and has since engaged in a series of crucial discussions with Indian officials focusing on intelligence cooperation, cybersecurity and defense ties. Tulsi visit follows Prime Minister Narendra Modi's February trip to Washington, where he met Gabbard and praised her as a strong opponent of the India-US relations. And during her stay, Gabbard has also participated in multiple high-profile meetings and conferences aimed at strengthening bilateral security collaboration. West Bengal Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee attended iftar at Furfura Sharif in Hooghly. During the event, she joined the local community in breaking the fast and participated in the religious observances. The occasion brought together people from various backgrounds, reflecting the state's commitment to unity and communal harmony. The Chief Minister expressed her greetings to everyone and emphasized the importance of maintaining peace and togetherness in the society.
মুশফিকিন ভাই তুমি উপরে উঠে এসো, সাফিরি ভাই উঠে এসো, তাহাবি ভাই এনে উঠে আসেন, তাহাবি ভাই উঠে আসেন, সাফিরি ভাই উঠে এসো, আব্দুল গফফার ভাই উঠে আসেন, এখানে উঠে আসেন। কাউসাইন বসো। এটা আমাদের তাহাবিব সিদ্দিকী আমার ভাই, এটা আমার এক ভাই আফতাবউদ্দিন।
Haryana Chief Minister Nayab Singh Saini presented the 2025-26 budget, which is worth rupees 2,05,017 crore. He mentioned that the state expects rupees 1,07,691 crore in tax receipts and rupees 20,125 crore in non-tax receipts, and the budget allocates 32.84% for the social services, 15.37% for the general services, and 21.53% for financial services. The remaining 30.26% of the budget will be used to pay the principal and interest on the state's debt.
आज मैंने वित्त वर्ष 2025-26 के लिए कुल 2,05,017 करोड़ रुपए का बजट आज पेश किया है। रिसीप्ट्स की अगर बात करें तो टैक्स प्राप्तियां कुल 1,07,691 करोड़ रुपए अनुमानित हैं। गैर टैक्स प्राप्तियां कुल 20,125 करोड़ अनुमानित हैं। शेष कैपिटल प्राप्तियां हैं। मैंने सामाजिक सेवाओं, सोशल सर्विस के लिए बजट के 32.84% का प्रावधान किया है। जनरल सेवाओं में 15.37%, आर्थिक सेवाओं में 21.53% बजट रखा है। बजट का शेष 30.26% हिस्सा पुराने ऋण के मूलधन व ब्याज की अदायगी पर खर्च होगा। राजस्व घाटा, रेवेन्यू डेफिसिट राज्य की जीडीपी का 1.53% अनुमानित है। राजकोषीय घाटा, फिक्स्ड डेफिसिट राज्य की जीडीपी का 2.67% अनुमानित है, जो कि केंद्रीय वित्त की निर्धारित सीमा 3% से काफी कम है। राज्य की कुल डेबिट ऋण देनदारी 3,52,819 करोड़ संभावित है, जो कि राज्य की जीडीपी का 26.18% है, जो कि केंद्रीय वित्त आयोग की सीमा 32.5% से काफ़ी कम है। हमारा जो राजकोषीय घाटा तथा कुल डेबिट FRBM एक्ट के प्रावधानों से काफ़ी नीचे है।
In Delhi, the Deputy Chairman of the Rajya Sabha, Harivansh, held a meeting with the parliamentary delegation from Portugal led by Marcos Perestrello, the Vice President of the Assembly of Portugal. The meeting focused on strengthening bilateral relations between India and Portugal, discussing areas of cooperation and enhancing parliamentary exchanges. Both sides emphasized the importance of fostering closer ties in various sectors, including trade, culture and international diplomacy. The meeting provided an opportunity for the two countries to share insights on parliamentary procedures and governance. Moving into regional news, Telangana Chief Minister Revanth Reddy launched the Rajiv Yuva Vikasam scheme to empower youth through skill development and employment opportunities. He also emphasized the government's commitment to education, training and financial support, urging youth participation. The initiative aims to enhance career prospects across various sectors, ensuring inclusive growth.
కార్యక్రమాలకు శ్రీకారం ఆహ్వానించి శాసనసభ ప్రాంగణంలో ఒక మంచి కార్యక్రమానికి తెరలేపినందుకు మనస్ఫూర్తిగా అభినందిస్తున్నాను. మిత్రులారా, డిసెంబర్ 3, 2023 నాడు ఫలితాలు వచ్చిన తర్వాత డిసెంబర్ 7, 2023 నాడు ఎల్బీ స్టేడియంలో ప్రమాణ స్వీకారం నిర్వహించి డిసెంబర్ 9, 2023 నాడు ఇదే ప్రాంగణంలో తెలంగాణ రాష్ట్రంలో ఉన్న సోదరీమణులకు అందరికీ కూడా ఆర్టీసీలో ఉచిత బస్సు ప్రయాణాన్ని, అదేవిధంగా పేదలకు ఆనాడు డాక్టర్ వైఎస్ రాజశేఖర రెడ్డి గారు ముఖ్యమంత్రిగా ఉన్నప్పుడు ప్రారంభించిన రాజీవ్ ఆరోగ్యశ్రీ పథకాన్ని 10 లక్షల రూపాయలు పేదల వైద్యానికి అందించే విధంగా ప్రభుత్వం ఏర్పాటు చేసిన 48 గంటల్లోనే ఈ ప్రాంగణంలో మనం ప్రారంభించుకున్నాం. ఆ తర్వాత నిరుద్యోగ సమస్య కావచ్చు, రైతు రుణమాఫీ కావచ్చు, రైతు భరోసా కావచ్చు, గృహ జ్యోతి కావచ్చు, ఈ రకంగా ఎన్నికల సందర్భంగా మనం ఇచ్చిన హామీలను ఒకటొకటిగా అమలు చేస్తూ తెలంగాణ రైతాంగానికి, తెలంగాణ మహిళా సోదరీమణులకు, తెలంగాణ నిరుద్యోగ యువతకు, విద్యార్థులకు ఒక స్ఫూర్తినిస్తూ ఒక మంచి పరిపాలన అందించే ప్రయత్నం చేస్తున్నాం. దాంట్లో భాగంగా 15 నెలలు పూర్తి చేసుకుంటున్న సందర్భంలో మొదటి 10 నెలల్లోనే దాదాపుగా 57,924 ప్రభుత్వ ఉద్యోగ నియామకాలు చేపట్టడం ద్వారా ఈ దేశంలోనే మన ప్రభుత్వం చరిత్ర సృష్టించింది. స్వతంత్రం వచ్చినప్పటి నుంచి కూడా ఏ రాష్ట్రంలో ఏ ప్రభుత్వం మొదటి సంవత్సరంలోనే 57,924 ప్రభుత్వ ఉద్యోగ నియామకాలు చేపట్టలేదు. మన ప్రభుత్వం చేపట్టింది. అదేవిధంగా రైతులకు 25,35,000 మంది రైతులకు 20,617 కోట్ల రూపాయల రుణమాఫీ చేయడం ద్వారా ఈ దేశ వెన్నెముకైన రైతాంగాన్ని అప్పుల ఊబిలో నుండి బయటికి తీసి ఆత్మస్థైర్యంతో నిలబడే విధంగా మనం కార్యాచరణ తీసుకొని ముందుకు వెళ్ళినాం. ఆడబిడ్డలు దాదాపుగా 150 కోట్ల బస్సు ట్రిప్లను ఈనాటికి పూర్తి చేసుకొని 5,005 కోట్ల రూపాయలు ఆడబిడ్డల బస్సు ఉచిత ప్రయాణానికి రాష్ట్ర ప్రభుత్వం నిధులను కేటాయించి ఆడబిడ్డలకు అండగా నిలబడ్డాం. ఇదే కాకుండా దాదాపుగా 200 యూనిట్లు ఉచిత కరెంటు పేదవాళ్ళ ఇళ్లకు ఇవ్వాలని గృహజ్యోతి పథకం ద్వారా ఏదైతే హామీ ఇచ్చినామో ఈనాడు 50 లక్షల కుటుంబాలు ఈ పథకాన్ని సద్వినియోగం చేసుకుంటున్నాయి. 50 లక్షల కుటుంబాల ఇళ్లలో వెలుగు చూస్తున్నాము, వాళ్ళ కళ్ళల్లో ఆనందం కనిపిస్తుంది అని అంటే.
In Hyderabad, Telangana, police detained members of the Bharat Rashtra Samiti Vidyarthi Abhigam who staged a protest in front of the Telangana Assembly, and the demonstration was in response to reports of Osmania University officially banning agitations, dharnas and demonstrations on its campus, citing disruptions to academic and administrative activities, and the protesting students opposed the decision, arguing that it curtailed their right to decent and express grievances. The police intervened to maintain law and order, detained the demonstrators. Yes, President Donald Trump revealed that he would speak to Russian President Putin as part of his efforts to bring an end to the ongoing war in Ukraine, and the announcements came as Trump was flying from Florida to Washington on Air Force One, and the conversation is expected to focus on diplomatic efforts to resolve the conflict, with Trump continuing to push for a negotiated peace. The move underscores his approach to international relations and his desire to take a more direct role in addressing a global security challenges.
Good time, and we learned a lot. We're doing pretty well, I think, with Russia. And we'll see if we have something to announce maybe by Tuesday. I'll be speaking to President Putin on Tuesday, and a lot of work's been done over the weekend. We want to see if we can bring that war to an end. Maybe we can, maybe we can't, but I think we have a very good chance.
What sort of concessions will you be seeking to have Putin make to get a deal done?
Well, I think we'll, be talking about land. It's a lot of land. It's a lot different than it was before the wars, And we'll be talking about land. We'll be talking about power plants, because that's up, it's a big question. But I think we have a lot of it already discussed very much by both sides.
You'll ask him.
Ukraine and Russia.
You'll ask him to
We're all
In a historic mission, SpaceX Crew Dragon spacecraft successfully opened a hatch to the International Space Station to rescue astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sunita Williams, who had been stranded on the station since June, and the two astronauts had been awaiting a return trip to Earth after the Boeing Starliner spacecraft, initially scheduled for the mission, encountered propulsion issues. After 9 months in the space, Wilmore and Williams are finally set to return home, marking a significant achievement for SpaceX in crewed space flight. Ukrainian President Zelensky urged for active pressure on Russia to bring an end to the ongoing war during a 2-hour virtual meeting hosted by UK Prime Minister Keir Starmer, and Zelensky emphasized the need for continued international support and diplomatic efforts to stop Russia's aggression against Ukraine. While the meeting reflects the growing global push for a resolution to the conflict, with key leaders seeking to intensify efforts to hold Russia accountable and secure peace.
Fighting and destruction. To stop this, active pressure is needed, not just talks. Pressure on Russia, strong measures are needed to take even the first steps toward ending the war. This includes sanctions. Sanctions against Russia must not only be maintained but continuously strengthened. And I ask you to take these steps and to work with your partners on this. Second, we must define a clear position on security guarantees. Security is the key to making peace reliable and lasting. We need to keep working on the contingents that will form the foundation of Europe's future armed forces. Peace will be more reliable with the European contingents on the ground and the American side as a backstop. There must be clear commitments on how this will function. The same goes for investments in defense production, both in Ukraine, where it's now growing the fastest, and in your countries. Europe needs its own arsenals and the capability to produce the most advanced